Sports.
We are Black We are Florida.
The city of Philadelphia. The Marlins arrive ready to start the second half of the Major League season. Steve Carlton, lefty, standing tall, standing guard. The Marlins turn to Jose Fernandez. He gets the ball to start the second half on the road here in Philly. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz, joined by Preston Wilson on this three-game series here in Philadelphia. And for the Marlins, it's an opportunity to start anew. It's the second half, and for the Fish, there's a lot of players looking forward to a better second half than a first half.
Well, I think the Marlins overall are looking to see what their team looks like when they have their full complement of players. A lot of energy, injuries, a lot of movement going on in the roster. Let's see what they got in the second half.
If you're going to start the second half and you want to start it with a bang, it's nice to give the ball to Jose Fernandez.
Well, you know that new Fantastic Four movie's coming out. And if he could be the fifth one, he'd be Mr. Excitement, because he's a guy that electrifies his team. Just the way that his presence is on the mound brings everybody up to a higher level. He's so lovable. He's such a guy that everybody gravitates to. And on top of it, he's extremely good.
He is. I mean, you look at the numbers for Fernandez, certainly in his career and the start this year. Here, it's his first road start of the season. How does that success at home translate to the road for him?
Well, I think the big thing is he has to understand that as long as he keeps the walks down, he's okay. You can get away with certain pitches in Marlins Park, but in ballparks like Citizens Park here in Philadelphia, you got to make sure that you minimize the unearned traffic on the bases.
Now, the Marlins will face a lefty. Adam Morgan is one of the young starters that is up for the Phillies. The Fish hit lefties quite well.
What they do, and Morgan's coming off a rough outing. July 8th, he went for 6 hits, 5 runs, in 4 innings. That's not very good. So hopefully the Marlins can capitalize on that and get some good early at-bats going.
The Fish, the Phils. The second half begins. The Marlins try to erase the memories of the first half and get some momentum started here in Philly. Let's go places. By Florida Coast Equipment, Florida's largest Kubota dealer. Visit us at FloridaCoastEQ.com. And by Auto Nation. Visit us online at AutoNation.com. Citizens Bank Park. Been a while since the Marlins were here. An early season trip. The Fanatic in postseason form. Stole a camera. Making people pose. That's right. Out for the camera for me there. Work it, Fanatic. Work it. One of our favorites. Plenty of hijinks throughout the weekend with the Fanatic, to be sure. Hopefully, the hot dog shooting gun makes an appearance. Always popular here in Philly. So, our summer evenings. 82 degrees. Preston Wilson, a little hotter tomorrow, actually.
It's supposed to warm up a bit. It's supposed to be in the 90s tomorrow, so that's going to be a little rough. But right now, it's great weather for baseball.
It is. It's a great night to hit, especially in this ballpark. You see the Fish getting ready right now. The Phils and the Fish. The Marlins finished off that first half with a nice series win over the Reds. Outscored the Reds 24-5. J.M. Lexus welcomes back Martin Prado. He's slotted right behind Danny Echeverria. Etch in the leadoff spot. Prado second. Marlins didn't want to move Christian Yelich. He's hot in the 3 spot. He remains there. Casey McGee hitting cleanup. Justin Bohr gets a start against the lefty. JT Realmuto behind the plate. Michael Morse out in left, trying to get a spark right now in the 7 spot. What a nice surprise Cole Gillespie has been. He's in right. And Jose Fernandez took a spirited round of batting practice and is ready to go in the 9 spot. And the Fish will face this 25-year-old lefty in Adam Morgan.
Well, Adam Morgan is a lefty that definitely needs to keep the ball down. He's not going to blow you away with velocity. And he's going to have to keep the ball down, move it in and out to have a chance against this Marlins lineup. And as for the Marlins, you want to throw some good at-bats on this guy early. Shake him up early. He's coming off of a rough outing. Only 5 runs in 4 innings. He gave up some quick runs, so if they get on him quickly, they got a shot.
Phillies defense is brought to you by BMW. Preston, take us around the outfield first.
Well, we're going to start from left to right. Cody Ashley used to play third base out there in left field tonight. Ben Revere is in center. Dominic Brown is in right field. You got Maikel Franco, the new hot hitting third baseman at third base. Freddie Galvis, Cesar Hernandez, Ryan Howard. Rupp is the catcher, and at the aforementioned Alex Morgan is the pitcher. Adam Morgan, sorry.
That's all right. Jose Fernandez still making his way in from the Marlins bullpen, which is out in center field. JT Realmuto caught him in single A in Jupiter and has not caught him in a real game since. And so Jose Realmuto, shoulder to shoulder. Remember, Jose going on the disabled list after the first month, just before Realmuto arrived last year.
They said the one start that Jose did not win that year was when Realmuto did not catch him.
And Chuck Hernandez is eager and anxious to get this second half going. Marlins rotation taking shape with Jose in that number 1 spot. Danny Echeverria, Martin Prado, Christian Yelich for the Fish against Adam Morgan. Now Echeverria has been bounced all over the lineup. The Marlins did today put D. Gordon on the disabled list, retroactive to that thumb injury. So an approximate, 8-day stay on the DL, and hopeful that the thumb will be ready to go for the next homestand. Here's Morgan to Echeverria. The first pitch, cutter for a strike. And it's brought to you by Pinch a Penny. Echeverria has hit second. He's hit third. He's been in the 8 spot a lot. And that's where he really flourished. He was up over 300 most of the year in that spot.
Definitely one of the most productive 8-hole hitters in the league. But I think with him moving around the lineup, he has to understand that he shouldn't be expected to be a different hitter.
Echeverria, fly ball to right field. Dominic Brown back to the track, and he makes the catch. The roster move for the Fish to put D. Gordon on the disabled list. It's retro to July 12th, so 15 days from July 12th. And Martin Prado is off the DL. His last game was June 14th. And he arrives here a month later after that shoulder injury, playing second base. The Marlins like what they see out of Casey McGee. They like what they see out of Justin Bohr. Obviously, there's a need at second. Hey, Prado was an all-star at second, so That's where he is as he returns off the disabled list. Prado drives it to center field. Revere makes the catch. Adam Morgan with a couple of quick outs. Christian Yelich comes to the plate. Winning on the road for Miami was not easy in the first half. In fact, they've lost 11 of their last 13 road games. And altogether, 14-28 on the road. One of the first half trends that they'd like to reverse. Christian Yelich is trending upward right now.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Christian Yelich. He had a long way to go. He was hitting around 200 with 2 months into the season. And now to see him crawl back up to that 264 range, now he's in striking distance of being the Christian Yelich at the end of the year that we all know that he can be.
Last 14 games, he's over 400 at 426. 0-2. Fastball in, and Dan Jennings told us before the ball game that there were thoughts of moving him to the leadoff spot where he was last year and quite good at it, but he's hit so well in this spot in the lineup, just didn't want to move him. Yelich on a breaking ball. Galvis out at short. Gets the out at first. That's an 8-pitch inning for Adam Morgan. Jose Fernandez gets the ball next. Jose Fernandez ready to go, ready to face the Phillies, opening up the second half for the Fish. Fernandez makes start number 3 since coming off the disabled list following Tommy John surgery last year. And you see the numbers quite good. His last time out against the Reds, he punched out 9, did not walk a batter, did not give up a run, and he went 7 innings. And his first pitch fastball pops in there at 95, a strike to Ben Revere. Cesar Hernandez, Maikel Franco in the 3 spot for the Phils. Jose working quickly. It's 1-1.
Well, Ben Revere has been probably the Phillies' most consistent hitter this year to go along with that core of young players that they have coming up.
Chopper to first. Boers got it. Steps on the bag. And there's 1 out. We told you about Ben Revere. He's in the leadoff spot for the Fightin' Phils, who have dropped 5 in a row. Their lineup brought to you by JM Lexus. Cesar Hernandez, a switch hitter. Maikel Franco has really blossomed this year. Brian Howard in the cleanup spot. Cody Ashley's actually in left. Freddie Galvis, a switch hitting shortstop. Dominic Brown, Cameron Rupp, and Adam Morgan. This is Hernandez, and he takes a strike. Hot, muggy. You see Jose with that hand in the dirt. most of the night, trying to keep the sweat from affecting his pitches. Justin Bour, just like that. Couple ground ball outs to open up this first inning. Defense is brought to you by BMW. Here are the fish.
Left field, Michael Morrison. Center field, Gold Glover, Christian Yelich. Right field, Cole Gillespie. Case McGee is at third. Danny Echeverria is at shortstop. Martin Prado has made the switch over to second base. Justin Bour is at first. JT Realmuto's the catcher, and Jose Fernandez is on the bump.
Here is Franco, and there is Martin Prado. A little bit of rust to knock off. Hasn't played a lot of second of late, but was an all-star there a few years back with Atlanta. Jam shot, little looper into right, and it falls in front of Gillespie. Phillies have their first hit, and it brings Ryan Howard to the plate.
If there's a guy that the Phillies are excited about, it's Maikel Franco. Has 10 home runs this year, 34 RBI, and he is blossoming into what they feel is their better prospect of what they have in the minor leagues.
Now Ryan Howard. Jose Fernandez against the Phillies has made 4 career starts. 2 of them in this ballpark. 1 very, very good. Beat the Phillies back in 2013. 1 not so good last year. Gave up 6 runs in 4 innings in early April. Ryan Howard just 1 for 9, as you see, against Jose.
There will be a lot of guys with those numbers. 1 for 9, 0 for whatever against Jose.
Now that's fun. 97 miles an hour. You got Howard, who's just going to wail away, and Jose throws it by him.
You can see in Jose's demeanor that when those big sluggers get up there, there's a personal note to it. I mean, that was just, here you go, try and hit it 97.
Howard drives that one to left. Now it really looked, in contrast to his first start, in his last start, it looked like he was pitching to contact with an eye on at least getting 7 innings, and he accomplished that.
Well, I think when you're a pitcher like Jose Fernandez, you realize part of your value is saving your bullpen. And when you can get into the late innings, that's just going to increase your value. And the way that he pitched, it was more about getting outs than getting strikeouts. And that, to me, especially is showing maturity for a guy who's as young as he is.
89 pitches. His first game against the Giants, 94 in going 7 innings against the Reds. He's 1-2 on Howard. And he got him. 98. Dials it up and punches out Ryan Howard. Underway tonight in Philly. The second half begins scoreless.
Inning. The Marlins have Martin Prado back, but there are still a couple of players who are dealing with some injuries. Here is an update on those guys. First off, D. Gordon, who was placed on the disabled list with that dislocated left thumb. He is working on strengthening that thumb to the point where he can grip the bat and start taking swings. As for Giancarlo Stanton, he underwent successful surgery on that left hand that had the broken bone. The stitches have come out. The good news is the next step for him is to see a hand specialist. That will take place on Monday. And then Henderson Alvarez, he made a rehab start this past Wednesday. It went well. He will make another rehab start on Monday, and for him it is all about getting that pitch count up. So some positive updates, guys. Hopefully they'll have a few players back soon.
Without question, and thankfully Jessica not in the line of fire there. Casey McGee lost his bat on that 0-1 swing. He's faced with a count of 0-2. Here's McGee.
Yeah, that's just a good old bat toss right there. You can get it back, maybe get a little stick and rub some dirt on there and try to get a better grip.
Justin Bour, JT Realmuto also scheduled here in the second against Adam Morgan, who misses in, and it's 1-2 for McGee. A miserable time in San Francisco, but a nice stop in Miami. He's 4 for 10 with 4 runs driven in. 2 of his 4 hits doubles.
You could just see he looked comfortable when he came back to Miami. He just looked like he felt at home. You know, it was a place that when he came here, you know, he didn't want to leave in the first place. So I think everybody involved in this whole process is glad that he's back in the Marlins uniform.
He told us in a post-game interview this past weekend that when he got back, he didn't have a lot of time, but he talked a lot about what he accomplished last year and just how he did it. And Frank Menechino, the hitting coach, got back to his routine, some of the principles that they really worked on last year and had success with. And he said it just feels like he has slid right back into the mode he was in last year. Gap-to-gap line drives. There's Frank, who does a fine job with the Marlin hitters. And McGee's aboard, a leadoff walk. Justin Bour, and then JT Realmuto. Significant that Bour is getting the start against the lefty Morgan.
I like this move because at some point you got to figure out if he can hit left-handers. And this lefty is a guy that's not overpowering. Yeah, he does have a good mixture of pitches, but he's not going to blow you away with the fastball. So it's a good measuring stick to see where Justin Bour is in his ability to handle left-handed pitching.
Wow, that's a rocket down the line and foul. He handled that quite well.
Yeah, he handled that really well. That was a loud foul ball just now. Yeah, that when a guy hits a ball that hard, the pitcher and the catcher, they start thinking maybe it's time for a meeting to talk about what our strategy is, because whatever that was, it didn't work. It's a good solid base. Good. His hands are so good when they get all the way back.
Swing and a miss. The breaking ball, count 1-2. Bour, a .316 clip in the month of July. You have 4 doubles and 3 homers in those 11 games. Busted his bat. Galvis sweeps it, and the turn by Hernandez is in time. The Phillies turn 2, and there's nobody left for JT Realmuto.
Well, that ball that Bour pulled down the line definitely changed the mindset of Morgan and Rupp behind the plate, because now they saw him yank the fastball. So he had to go to something soft on the second pitch. He swung and missed, stayed away on the outer part of the plate, got a broken bat. So now Justin Bour is going to have to readjust to that, to understand they're not just going to give him that fastball in middle in for him to yank down that line.
Now Realmuto. The first half for Realmuto was a real roller coaster, wasn't it? In terms of opening in the minors, the struggles of Jared Saltalamacchia. All of a sudden, Realmuto called up, and within a week or two, he was the everyday catcher just like that. He's had some struggles offensively. And I think over the last month, the swings, the at-bats, everything has gotten better. He's a .300 hitter since early June. Off-speed pitch hit to center. Big part of the park. Revere is there. And Adam Morgan has yet to give up a hit in a scoreless duel. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of those two young men with Marlin caps and the Marlins themselves. That's a good look going. Jose Fernandez, Cody Ashley, changeup pulled foul. Fernandez off to a nice start. Gave up a jam shot single to Franco in the first. Freddie Galvis, Dominic Brown following Ashe here in the second.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Jose Fernandez's changeup is going to be a much more polished and developed pitch than we've seen in the past.
There is that changeup, and there's the second strikeout.
And I'll tell you why I say that. When you have an injury like he had, the first thing you work on is pitches that are grip pitches. That's your fastball, that's your changeup. You don't work on manipulation pitches such as your slider and curveball until later in that process. So as proud as he is to pick up a baseball and throw it, you know he had to work extra hard on that changeup and fastball grip because he just wanted to pick up a ball and throw it. So I think that pitch, that changeup especially, is going to be a lot more polished than we've seen before from Jose.
There's Freddie Galvis. Lines it to left. That's Morse out there. Michael Morse makes the catch. With 2 quick outs here in the second. You can still take advantage of prorated season ticket plans. Get the best seats for upcoming series in the second half against the Mets, the Nationals, the Red Sox, and more. All the benefits of becoming a Marlins Fish Family member. Just go to marlins.com/2015 tickets or call 1-877-MARLINS and get your seats today. Dominic Brown. And Jose misses at 99 miles an hour with a fastball.
You know, after a 3 or 4 day layoff, this is not the guy that you want to face on the mound. Throwing in the high 90s, nasty curveball, good changeup. Could ease you into it a little bit.
How much rust for the hitters will we see tonight?
Well, you're going to see a little bit of rest. I especially think the first 1 or 2 times through the lineup. Seeing live pitching again for the first time in 3 or 4 days is tough.
Seeing Jose Fernandez is tougher.
That's filthy.
That's a 9-pitch inning with a pair of punch-outs, 3 total. Fernandez is sailing into the third, scoreless in Philly. Cards, which were very prevalent when he made his 2015 debut. Time now, if you've got a strongest fan photo, to tweet it, hashtag it FL Data Strong Fan. You might see yourself or Jose on the telecast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Rich Waltz, Preston Wilson sitting in for Tommy Hutton. Tommy will join us when the ball club arrives in Phoenix. This is an interesting road trip. Michael Morse climbs in. An interesting and important road trip for a team that desperately wants to do something about a 38-51 mark. Dan Jennings, before the ball game, talked about the importance of this trip. 3 games here, 3 in Arizona, and 4 in San Diego.
I mean, it all comes down to actually doing it on the field. But when you look at how the Marlins finished the first half and the teams that they're facing starting the second half, they have the ability to make a run against these teams.
They're hopeful that Michael Morse is along for the ride. The Marlins, in signing Morse in the offseason, wanted to slot his bat right behind Giancarlo Stanton. It didn't work out in the first month and a half. Morse was injured a bit on the disabled list and now back and trying to find that stroke.
Even though the hit totals haven't climbed up yet, I'm starting to see some positive things in his approach. His takes are better. His balance looks a little bit better throughout his swing. And all of those things lead to better at-bats. When you can take a pitch like that and not even flinch on your backside, that tells me you've seen the ball a long time. You know, when you take good swings and the bat path is flat instead of, he had a really big uppercut earlier in the season because he was late getting set. I'm starting to see those things smooth out a little bit.
Morse a swing and a miss. And a change up by Morgan. The schedule for the Marlins brought to you by Lexus. Tomorrow night and a Sunday matchup against the Phillies. Monday through Wednesday in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. Then you got 4 in San Diego, home for the Nationals and the Padres.
Every last team on that list is either deciding whether they're going to be sellers here in the next couple weeks, or they're pretty much resigned to being sellers in the next couple weeks.
Cole Gillespie. What a nice run Gillespie has had with the Marlins. 34 at-bats, a dozen hits, 5 of them doubles, and a homer. He's driven in 4. He plays all 3 outfield spots and plays them well. And he fouls that fastball back.
Dan Jennings probably paid Cole Gillespie one of the highest compliments you could pay a player. And he said, he's a ball player. And what that means is there's no situation you can put him out there and he's not going to have a positive impact. Runs the bases well, plays good defense, gives you a good at-bat. Does the little things. He can hit and run with him. He can hit behind the runner at second base. There's a lot of ways that he can help a ball club, and it's nice to see a young guy like this come up and be able to do all those little things, because sometimes with guys getting rushed to the major leagues, those little things don't get taught yet, or they haven't had a chance to learn how to do them.
1-2. Flipped foul. We talked about this a couple weeks ago with the injuries to Giancarlo Stanton. Now you've got D. Gordon out. Prado was out. Opportunities for guys like Gillespie. And there are careers that are made when you come in and take advantage of those opportunities. Derek Dietrich, Miguel Rojas. Gillespie pops that one into right. And it's Cesar Hernandez who makes the catch. And that brings up Jose Fernandez. Most starting pitchers in baseball like to take batting practice the day before their start. Some will take it day of. Jose Fernandez, you have to chase him out of the cage, which the Marlins did at about 5:30 tonight.
A lot of pitchers have what I call built-in excuses. They don't want somebody to talk to them on the game they start, because if you do, oh, that's why I didn't have a good game. Or I don't want to take batting practice on the day that I start because I'm going to be too tired for my start, and that's why I had a bad game. With this guy, there are no built-in excuses. He has fun around the game, even on the day that he's starting. Not that he's not focused. He's still very focused. He takes batting practice. There's nothing that he ever uses as an excuse for him not doing well.
Swinging a foul back. Now you sound like a guy that has a deep-rooted distrust of pitchers.
No, it's not.
Which is not uncommon for hitters. I sit next to a gentleman that at times will tell you the pitchers are a different breed.
I am like that about every player. I don't like any player who has a reason constantly ready for why they didn't do their job or why they didn't do well.
Adam Morgan is doing well tonight. 3 innings, no hits. Jose strikes out. He's scoreless. Group outing at the Clevelander Marlins Park. Enjoy happy hour pricing. All weekday home games for just $20 a person. Clevelander now offers brunch before all Sunday home games. $5 mimosa Need I say more? 1-877 Marlins. Go to marlins.com/groups. Cleveland has been jumping of late. Jose Fernandez working with JT Realmuto. With more on that, let's go to Jessica Blaylock. Jess?
Yeah, Rich, this is the third start of the season for Jose Fernandez, and up to this point, Jeff Mathis has caught him, but like you mentioned, JT Realmuto behind the plate tonight. I had a chance to talk to JT, and I asked him what is the best piece of advice that Mathis gave you heading into this start, and he said, help Jose control his emotions on the mound. Do not let him get too high. Do not let him get too low. Just help keep him in control on that mound. And we know how emotional of a player Jose Fernandez is. That is not an easy task for anyone, but so far it seems like it's going well.
Thank you, Jess. Preston, what do you see out there tonight?
I see a lot of controlled aggression. I see a guy that's really fired up, but I also see a guy that's letting people know that he's out there and ready to go. Like, he's back and he's ready. That's 99. He's been pumping fastballs between 96 and 99 in these first 3 innings, and he has not looked like he's backing down at all. Look at this. He missed his spot by a lot right there, but just with the sheer velocity and movement, Cameron Rupp had no chance at that.
Adam Morgan, Phillies pitcher. Phillies do have a hit. Miguel Franco, a jam shot single back in the first. Fernandez still has yet to walk anyone, and he dots the outside corner and he strikes out Morgan.
Yeah, after that second strike, I pretty much expected Adam Morgan to keep the bat on his shoulders. It wasn't a very good swing, and not much good can come from that.
He has punched out 5 of his last 6 hitters faced. If he finishes this inning without a walk, he will have started this 2015 season by going 16 innings and not walking anybody. He's got 20 strikeouts on the season right now. And here is Ben Revere, who bounced to first back in the first. That changeup right in there for a strike.
You know, I think that changeup is actually going to help him because he's not going to have to throw as many sliders to those lefties. I think last year he tried to go to that back foot slider a lot to left-handed hitters.
The flip and the outs. Ben Revere gets down the line quickly. A 9-pitch inning for Jose Fernandez. Scoreless in Philly. Base.
Tell you, this is a really nice play by Martin Prado to get a speedy guy, know that he didn't have time to do the hand transfer, gets it to Justin Boyd to get the speedy Ben Revere, and he just moved over from third base after a layoff to be at second base. It's pretty solid.
Top of the order, second time through for Miami. With Danny Echeverria in the leadoff spot tonight, Martin Prado, and then Christian Yelich. Adam Morgan, 25-year-old out of Marietta, Georgia, pitched at Alabama, making just his 4th major league start. And he misses in. A ball and a strike. Echeverria flied to right. The Phillies are a ball club certainly looking for any sort of foothold to stop a slide. They dropped 15 of their last 18. Etch up the middle. Slipped, and he might be out. If the throw were on the mark, he would have been. Echeverria slipped coming out of the box. And a heads-up play on the throw by Hernandez.
Well, look, the ball got in on him a little bit. It didn't sound like he got it on the sweet part of the bat. Slipped coming out of the box, but he hit it so well up the middle that the second baseman had to range really far and then try to make a good throw, and that just was too much for them to overcome. So that's when, as a hitter, you kind of look up and go, thanks, big guy, because I got away with one right there. Usually when you slip in the box like that, you can be out.
So here's Prado. Miami has their first hit. Echeverria stolen 3 bags. Morgan does not have, by the scouting reports, a great move to first.
Well, it's actually unusual for most young lefties to have good moves, because if they're that good in the minor leagues, number one, they haven't had that many base runners, and number two, a lot of young base runners don't like that pitcher looking at them.
You were looking at Pete Mackanin there. Mackanin, who took over for Ryan Sandberg, who resigned. Marlins haven't seen the Phillies since. Mackanin has managerial experience on his resume. But certainly an interim manager for an interim team right now, a team that's waiting to see what happens with the trading deadline coming up. Ruben Amaro Jr., their general manager. Andy McPhail, their brand new president, takes over for Pat Gillick. It seems like the Phillies have been in this cycle for the last year and a half, waiting to see which pieces they might trade to get younger, get a little more talent in their minor league system, start that climb back up.
And not every player can handle that very well, feeling like I may get traded at any time, or feeling like I may be one of the players that's going to be playing in another city, and still try to produce on the field and keep all of that in perspective. You got guys like Cole Hamels right there, who's for the last couple of years has been one of those guys that they've been talking about possibly moving in, or going somewhere else to be with a contender in the second half of the season.
Runner goes. Prado hits it to left. Ashe is there. An out, and here comes Christian Yelich. Well, the biggest chips that the Phillies have would be Hamels front and center. Now, Jonathan Papelbon is another guy, but he's got a contract that vests. He finishes 19 more games, and he's owed $13 million next year. He's certainly made it known that he expects to be traded, and it kind of feels like he wants to be traded. But you look around, and some of the other guys that you might think are commodities and players that other teams might like might not bring the group back that you were expecting, of the young talent that you could rebuild and build around. Here is Yelich with a strike.
You got a lot of guys that have salaries that other teams are going to be tied up with a little bit if you do move them. So that's another factor that's going to come in, not just the ability of these guys, but the salary that they're going to take along with them.
Got a veteran bat like Jeff Francoeur. Ben Revere has really been hot, and he's on a lot of radars right now. The throw to first, Etch is picked. Throw to second, Etch is in. Got such a good jump. He slides in under the tag of Freddie Galvis, and it goes as a stolen base.
One of the advantages of going first move is if you get that good jump, they still have to make a good throw and put the tag on you, because the throw has to come to first. Once that pitcher commits to going that way, he has to go to first, and the first baseman has to make a good throw to second base.
And that's the key. It puts pressure on a guy that is not a great first baseman in Ryan Howard. And now Yelich with a count 0-2.
What most first basemen want to do in that situation is actually come towards the pitcher or move towards second. And you saw Howard, when he caught that ball, he just stayed there and then had to make that throw. He didn't cut down the distance with his feet at all.
Ball in the dirt, blocked by Cameron Rupp. Morgan missed all of last year. Shoulder surgery, had a slight tear in his rotator cuff. He opened the season this year in AAA. Didn't win a game in 13 starts. Pitched to a 4.74 ERA, and it kind of speaks to the lack of depth and success in the Phillies rotation, that he's in that rotation now. Last 18 games, Philly starters have an ERA well over 7 and a 2-11 record. Our Toyota Trend. Got a lefty on lefty matchup here with Yelich versus lefties. Marlins the best in the National League at 273. No surprise, Toronto tops all of baseball. That is a scary good offensive team. Miami saw that firsthand in that 3-game series up in Toronto.
That team has some loud bats. Josh Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion. Those guys can swing it.
Yelich, dribbler, right side. Morgan's flip. Echeverria ends up at third for a Casey McGee at bat with 2 outs. What has Adam Morgan done well here? He's given up just the 1 hit.
Adam Morgan has been able to pitch on both sides of the plate, so he's kept the hitters honest inside and outside. He's also been able to use his secondary pitch as well. He's got some good outs on breaking balls and changeups. Got Justin Bour earlier, got Yelich just now, struck out Michael Morse on a changeup. So he's been able to mix in some quality off-speed pitches to offset him moving that fastball in and out of the strike zone on the in and outer part of the plate.
Casey McGee fell behind 0-2 and then worked a walk back in the second.
If he falls behind Casey McGee right here too much, I'm going to say he's going to go ahead and be really careful about how he pitches him and then try to go after Justin Bour again.
And he looks like he's doing just that. He's fallen behind at 2-0.
Well, and it's going to be up to Justin Bour to show that he can make the adjustment with that off-speed stuff that Morgan threw the last time up there.
End of the bat, and that was a changeup.
But he's got to be careful with Casey, because Casey's a smart enough hitter that he will start sitting on a changeup or sitting on a breaking ball, knowing what happened that first time through the lineup. Casey will make the adjustment and look for something soft.
2-1 come. Echeverria at third. Would you sit changeup in a traditional fastball count here?
Yes, you can, but you just have to commit to it. You can't sit change up and decide the last minute to pull the ripcord on the fastball because you still have another pitch to play with.
Called for a fastball. And he caught the knees with it.
He had a little cut action on it. That was 88. The last fastball he threw was 90. He's been mostly between 87 and 88 with his fastball all night, though.
Slider and missed in. So McGee has walked twice. And here's that showdown you talked about, Bohr and Morgan.
Well, that's a good at bat by Casey McGee. That's why he took that 3-1 pitch with so much confidence, because he knew that they still didn't really want to pitch to him, and I think he was probably sitting on that changeup and just say, if you leave it out of a plate, I'm going to hammer it. Other than that, I know you're not going to give me anything to hit.
And you can see on Fox Tracks it was well in. Justin Bohr 3 for 19 against lefties. Bounced into a double play, and that was after ripping a line drive down the right field line that was just foul. Just before the All-Star break, Bohr showed he was happy to cross up the shift and slap some balls into left field. The Phillies do not shift as aggressively as most teams. And Bohr sends that one into center. Late break by Revere, and it falls for a hit. And the Marlins are on the board. Big swing, and it fooled Ben Revere.
One of the toughest balls to play as a center fielder is when you got a big guy who takes that big swing and the ball hits off the end of the bat, but the trajectory is the same. So you think it's a deep drive and it ends up falling in front of you. You have to try to recover, and sometimes you get beat like Ben Revere did right there.
So Bohr drives in his 28th run. Miami gives Jose Fernandez a 1-0 lead to work with. A chance to pick up more. We've got McGee out at second, Bohr at first. And Real Muto fouls it back and out of play. Preston talked about Real Muto on Marlins Live before the ball game, and the job that he's done as a rookie catcher on an everyday basis. It's not often you see that combination, everyday catcher as a rookie.
There's just so much responsibility. Not only do you have to understand how they pitch, the pitches, you got to understand the movement and how to frame their pitches. You got to understand what this pitcher likes to go to when he gets in trouble, you know, the signs to look for when he may be struggling on the mound. There's a lot that you have to learn.
In the air, Howard backing up. Hernandez calls him off, and Hernandez makes the catch. Realmuto pops out, but Miami's on the board. Justin Bohr, an RBI single. 1-0. Brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Visit your South Florida Chevy dealers today. By Checkers, mix and match our famous Big Buford and Big Chicken Deluxe. Get 2 for $5. Checkers, it's in the bag. By Pixels, in theaters July 24th, and by Mitsubishi Motors, who invite you to find your own lane. Jose Fernandez, a 1-0 lead, bottom 4. He gets Cesar Hernandez, Miguel Franco, and Ryan Howard. And Jose has looked exceptionally sharp off the mound, hasn't? And a little love tap there to get out number 1.
I'm impressed by Jose's pace. You know, maybe having a guy like Dan Herron on your team who gets the ball and goes, or you having Burley here in the past, seen guys like that. It kind of brings back memories when I'm looking at Jose Fernandez on the mound tonight. He's on the rubber, waiting on the batter to get into the plate by just hanging out there, waiting on him. The pace is that good for him.
Even the inning after Jose made the last out, he struck out to end the 3rd. That's going to stay fair now. Justin Bour tried to get it before it rolled foul. Jose made the last out of the 3rd. He was out on the mound, warmed up and ready to go, and the pitch clock had not even expired. That's a real race for a first baseman.
I like the fact that he tried to come get that, though. When you see the right-handed batter have that big swing, he can't get out of the box cleanly. If you can pick that up before it goes foul, you can get an easy out for your pitcher right there.
Franco has been a kind of a silver lining, a chance to play, and he's put up really nice numbers, had a fine June. And he's a guy that the Phillies are hoping to keep and build around. So much so that he finds himself playing 3rd. Cody Ashe, who had been the 3rd baseman of the future, now out in left field. Fastball's up at 98 miles an hour.
When you look at Franco with the 10 home runs and 34 RBIs, those are lofty numbers for a rookie.
Who's your rookie of the year among that group from the first half?
I got a chance to see Yasmani Tomas hit for Arizona. He's got to be the front runner for me so far.
Echeverria, wow, what a play. That is not easy to do. He got some help from Justin Bour. Echeverria in the hole, whip it quick.
This is just so good. The body control. He gets his base on him, makes a strong throw, and a nice pick on the shortstop by Justin Bour over there. And number 16 on the hill. He likes that as well. Gives him a point. Way to go, big fella.
Ryan Howard now. Jose has struck out 5. He struck out Howard in the 1st, and it was just fastball after fastball. That one busts his bat. Prado to 1st. That's a 7-pitch inning. Jose Fernandez is dealing tonight in Philly. A 1-0 lead for the pitch. On top. Our Geico Marlins moment on this date in '96. Kurt Abbott 3 for 5, drove in 6. Marlins beat the Astros 11-2. A double short of the cycle for our good friend Kurt Abbott. Well, a lot going right for the Marlins tonight. A conflicted Philly fan, right? Marlin jersey, Philly cap.
Yeah, his head says Phillies, but his heart says Marlins.
Now, that's got to be an old school Philly cap because it's got the Liberty Bell and then it's got the old school P, right?
Yeah, that looks like around the 80s or so, that P.
Where do you get
70s.
that around town? You get that at, is it Mitchell and Ness?
Oh, they got a great store out there. They have every uniform that the Phillies have ever had since the inception of the ball club. Michael
Morse is up. Morse takes in. It is Mitchell and Ness, right?
Yes, it is.
That is traditionally for the Marlins, in Marlins history, that place holds a special distinction. Back when the Marlins used to have the Throwback Fridays, Dontrell Willis was a big fan of those. It would take a trip into Philly. Everyone would go load up on their favorite throwbacks from any sport, whether it was baseball, football, basketball. Every now and then you'd see a hockey jersey. And there it is, Mitchell and Ness, the alley store. They have throwbacks from every sport that go back generations. Michael Morse into left field. Morse with a leadoff hit here in the 5th. Cole Gillespie and Jose Fernandez coming up. You would see Dontrell sporting a Vita blue jersey.
Oh, that's nice to see Michael Morse. He gets that ball down in his zone, which he likes the ball down. He's a low ball hitter, pulls it through that hole. I'm liking the balance. I'm liking the pitch selection I'm seeing at the plate for Michael Morse. I think we're going to see his numbers creep back up, and you're going to see that power start creep back up as well.
Second at bat for Cole Gillespie. Takes a strike. Gillespie popped out back in the 3rd. Oregon State played for one of those 2 national championship teams in Corvallis. Bounces it out towards short. Galvis to Hernandez. In time to get the double play. Morgan seems to be a guy able to get that ground ball when he needs it. Second double play for the Fish.
Well, he does have a little movement, but what he's able to do is he stays out of the middle of the plate. And sometimes when a guy gets a little over-aggressive, he pulls that ball to the shortstop instead of hitting it up the middle or hitting it to right center like Cole Gillespie did right there.
Now Jose, who struck out in the 3rd.
Morgan is your consummate, comfortable 0-for-4 guy because he doesn't have anything that can beat you. He's not overpowering. But you can chase yourself out of at-bats by swinging at pitches that you can't necessarily do anything with.
He's walked 2, struck out 2. If Preston Wilson had to dress up on a Throwback Friday, which it is Friday, and you had to stop by Mitchell and Ness, who would you pick up?
First jersey would be an old Braves Hank Aaron jersey. That'd be the first one.
All right, say it's a week after that Friday.
Old Jim Brown from the Browns.
That's sweet.
Absolutely. Yes, with the 3/4 sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change up. Jose goes down. 10-pitch inning for Adam Morgan. Halfway through in Philly. It's 1-0. the second half. Whether it's a family celebration, networking event, or fundraiser, arrange for your next group outing at Marlins Park. All new food and beverage options include VIP groups, all-you-can-eat seats, and the new Clevelander Sunday brunch with those $5 mimosas. 1-877-MARLINS or go to marlins.com/groups today. Rich Waltzlaw with Preston Wilson, sitting in for Tommy Hutton, who returns Monday in Arizona. Jose Fernandez has been outstanding in this one. Goes to work in the bottom of the fifth. Just 39 pitches so far for Jose. Bouncer, Prado has it. And with 2 pitches, he has 1 out. And you look at the split right now, 31 of the 40 are strikes.
That's what you want. You want him to be efficient with his pitches, keep the ball in the strike zone, either force them to put the ball in play early or make them get quick outs. And we're to the 5th inning. Starting the 5th inning, he's only had 40 pitches. He's only faced 1 more batter than the minimum.
Opens with a strike to Freddie Galvis. Jose 5 strikeouts, still hasn't walked anyone this season. And this is his 3rd start. The one area and the one statistic that is still a curiosity is his record on the road. He's 4-8 and an ERA of just under 4 in 16 road starts. At home, he's not lost in 22 starts. He's 14-0. In the air, Echeverria makes the catch.
Starting to get that time of day where you have to keep your eye on the ball, because when it gets to where the sky above the lights is still bright, you can kind of lose the ball above the lights. So right now, these infielders and outfielders, you're not going to see them taking their eye off the ball too much.
Keep this in the back of your mind. Jose Fernandez has never thrown a complete game. The most he's thrown in the big leagues is 8. Dominic Brown. Dominic Brown is still somewhat of a mystery man. Is he the all-star after that first half he had in 2013? Or is he the guy that really struggled, hit just 10 homers last year?
What I see in Dominic Brown is he gets really inconsistent with his setup. He looks like he's really tentative with his stride. His hands don't always work in conjunction with his stride, and it leads him to having somewhat what they call dead hands, which means it's a forced swing. There isn't much rhythm to it, and it forces him to swing at pitches that he doesn't really see. But on the other side of that, he's got tremendous power and leverage, and if you leave it in the middle of the plate, he can put you in the seats.
3-2 coming. Fastball misses out. That is the very first walk that Jose Fernandez has given up this year. This start number 3. A 2-out walk to Dominic Brown. And it snaps a run of 12 straight retired. I think if you wanted a good tag team wrestling duo, you would choose one from either side. You would go with Cameron Rupp, who is a large human, and then go Justin Bour. Unless they were battling each other in just a solo bout.
There's no shortage of girth between those two gentlemen. They tip the scales both at about 260-ish, and Bour may have him by a couple inches, but those are two very large human beings.
Rupp has kind of quietly displaced Carlos Ruiz as the everyday catcher. There was no official announcement, but he's been sharing duties. They like his work behind the plate. This is start number 36. That is a laser beam fastball at 98 miles an hour. Jose Fernandez sweating up a bit, but in control. 6 strikeouts through 5. It's 1-0. Thinking complete game here in Philly. 1-0. That last strikeout of Cameron Rupp. Watch Rupp's reaction.
That's just unfair. He didn't even wait for the umpire to call it. He just walked away. He was like, you know what, I'm going to try it next time because that time didn't work for me.
And you saw the 3 pitches. All 3 pitches in the exact same spot. One on top of the other, on top of the other. That's
hard to do. It's actually a little bit selfish for him to do that because that didn't leave Rupp with much of a chance right there. That's incredible control and command to be able to put 98 right there and give that hitter no shot.
So Rupp back behind the plate. Meanwhile, Adam Morgan has looked sharp. The Marlins have just a run on 3 hits. And Danny Echeverria scored that only run. Came on a 2-out hit by Justin Bour. Ed tries to bunt. That may be the highest bunt you'll see caught out by the mound. Let's check in with Jessica Blaylock. Jess?
Rich, it's been a tough stretch for the Phillies as of late, especially this season. They have one of the top 10 highest payrolls in Major League Baseball, yet they have the worst record in the league. Take a look at how that compares to some other teams in the top 10. Teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Giants, even the Nationals. Those are teams that have spent a ton of money, but they're getting results. They're all above 500. That is not the case for the Phillies. And right now, one of their biggest problems, they have all of these old contracts that are costing them so much money, but there's no room to really get rid of them. So, Rich, you take a look at the Phillies, you take a look at how much money they've spent and where that compares to their record. They're 29-62, but they're the 9th in the league as far as the money that they have spent. That has certainly got to be frustrating for fans here in Philadelphia.
Oh, without a doubt. Galvis's throw to first. There's a lot of layers to this, Jessica and Preston. You see Pete Buchanan, who took over for Ryan Sandberg, who resigned. There's the money that they've spent, that they're paying Cole Hamels and Ryan Howard. But there's also the fact that the minor league system kind of bereft of uber prospects. They were unable in the decline to deal their best chips to restock the shelves. And so they find themselves having trouble finding trade partners and thus having trouble really pressing the reboot button.
And you go back to a team like Baltimore in the 90s when they went and they got all those high-priced guys. They had Paul Merrill, Will Clark, Albert Bell, all big contracts, and that team never produced a championship for them.
Yelich to center, and Revere is there, and he makes the catch. Well, they're trying to press that reboot. Mountain Dew. The family of JT Real Muto. A lot of friends and family in here to watch the Phillies and the Fish on this Friday night. Three-game weekend series. Jose Fernandez to work. And he misses outside to his counterpart, Adam Morgan. And a strike. Couple things if you're just joining us. Jose Fernandez has struck out 6. He's walked 1. As you see, he's thrown just 56 pitches. Liner to left. Morse in, now back, and it's over his head. Off the wall. Morgan around first. And he's in there with a double.
I was gonna say something. The first fastball he threw to Morgan was 93 miles an hour. Then it was another 93, and I think that was 94. Sometimes you want to coast against that pitcher, but you still got to make sure you make a decent pitch, and that's where pitchers like the ball out over the plate, and you can't fault Michael Morse for that. Maybe Christian Yelich makes that play, maybe not, but that's a line drive to the opposite field from a pitcher who you don't expect to hit the ball that far.
Well, it's a leadoff hit as well, and the first major league hit for Morgan, who is appearing in just his 4th major league ball game. And so now Jose can't cruise with Revere, Hernandez, and Franco. Revere shortens the bunt and takes outside.
It just reinforces the fact that you can't ever cruise, and if you do, you got to put the ball in places that hitter doesn't have a greater chance of success. If that ball's middle in to the pitcher, he's not going to have that type of swing. But when you throw a fastball middle away, you open yourself up for that.
That is a perfect bunt, and Revere has himself a hit. Casey McGee retreated with the bunt coming down the third base line, and as soon as he took one step back, Revere had himself a hit. No one was going to catch Revere.
Yeah, now Casey McGee is the only person that has a play at that ball. That's just a great bunt. That's just a great bunt, and Jose Fernandez knew he didn't have a shot, so he stayed over there. That's just a bad read by Casey. He's got to go get that ball.
And so just like that, the Phillies have their pitcher get his first major league hit. Revere gets a bunt single. And now here's Hernandez. Hernandez has bounced twice to first. Revere with good speed at first. Jose to the plate. He's missed twice with breaking balls. That fastball is lashed into the seats. This would be the first stressful inning for Jose Fernandez.
Well, and if there's anything working in Jose's favor right now, it's that Cesar Hernandez is hitting .255 coming into the game from the left side, as opposed to hitting .339 from the right side. So this is the side that you want him on in this situation.
Middle infield's back for 2. Bouncer to first. Bohr gets it, kicks it. Jose's got it. Everybody is safe. Holding third is Morgan. And this inning gets even stranger, though the Phillies still haven't scored. And Bohr's going to get an error. The bags are loaded.
He did the right thing by charging it, but then he didn't stay with it, looking it in. You can see that last minute his head pops up. He doesn't quite secure it in the glove, but the runner does stay at third. So there's still an opportunity for Jose to work himself out of this inning. But it's definitely going to be the hard way now.
Bags loaded, nobody out. 1-0 Miami. Here's Franco, who was 1 for 2. Popped up and out of play.
Well, we spoke earlier about Jose Fernandez wanting to just take quick outs. This is a time where he wants a strikeout. This is a time where he wants to put his best stuff out there. He's ahead of him 0-1 right now. He needs to find a way to put away this batter without the ball being put in play.
0-1. Up the middle, out there, Prado to first. The Phillies have tied the game. Jose gets his double play ball, but it's 1-1, and Ryan Howard's up with a runner at third and 2 outs. There's Morgan coming across.
Got to give Franco credit. It was a breaking ball. He found a way to put it in play, even though doesn't get an RBI for it. He got a run across the plate for his team.
Howard is struck out, bounced out. Jose dials up 99.
Well, he's definitely going to keep pumping the fastballs here. Ryan Howard did not look very good against the fastball his first time up. I don't expect that to change anytime.
Hasn't been able to get that slider into the lefties in this inning. And it's just out.
Well, with Ryan Howard's 15 home runs, here's where you do have to be careful because you're in a susceptible count.
And Howard lines it into left. Lost his bat, but knocks in the run. And the Phillies have a 2-1 lead. It's amazing how little things quickly add up. Jose Fernandez was absolutely sailing into this inning. But the line drive double by Adam Morgan on a ball that got over Michael Morse's head. Ben Revere's bunt single. The Marlins didn't cover that properly. The error by Bohr. And just like that, it's 2-1 Phillies.
Well, and now Jose Fernandez has to get his emotions back under control and get back to being himself. He looks a little out of whack now. Look like he's flying out a little bit. His arm is dragging behind a little bit. Get your composure back. Get that ball driven back through home plate like you were doing before. Nice compact motion.
Soft liner, right center, coming in Gillespie, and he makes the catch. Inning over. The Phillies 3 hits and 2 runs in the inning. H.H. Gregg high def highlights. 2-1 Phillies on top. It's the 7th in Philadelphia. Jose Fernandez right now along with Chuck Hernandez. Marlins had a 1-0 lead. Phils have 2 on the board. And now McGee leads it off. And all of a sudden it's Adam Morgan who's in control with McGee, Justin Bour, JT Realmuto.
The tone of this game has taken a 180 in just a half inning's time. Winning to the last half inning, feeling like Jose Fernandez was as dominant as we've seen him on the road.
Casey McGee getting the start at third base. Scores like cold hard fact. Miami has already used 8 different third basemen, 7 of them starters this year. 2 more than anybody else in baseball. Pitch is out. McGee has walked twice. You got Justin Bour, JT Realmuto coming up. Martin Prado, of course, the everyday third baseman until injuring his shoulder. That pitch is out, and McGee walks. So a leadoff walk here in the 7th. And here comes Bour. Earlier in the game, we talked about the T-Mobile fan photo, the Data Strong fan photo of the game. You can tweet it, hashtag it FLDataStrong, chance to be featured in an upcoming telecast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. There you go. That a photo, obviously, from Marlins Park, old school and new school. There is Bour, who certainly is old school as far as the batting gloves go. He doesn't use any. He takes outside. RBI single. He's bounced into a double play. And Morgan, when he's needed a double play, has been able to get it in the 2nd and in the 5th.
Well, it's been times like this that Justin Bour has shined this year. See the 271 average with 10 home runs. But those 10 home runs, a lot of those have come at clutch times. They've been game-tying or go-ahead home runs that Justin Bour has hit. They haven't been of the variety where the team is up 8-1 and it's a garbage time home run. A lot of the runs he drove in, especially in early July, were very meaningful RBIs.
Adam Morgan has missed on 6 straight pitches to open up the 7th. Saw Luis Garcia in the Phillies bullpen. And he misses again. Now it's 3-0. Realmuto and then Morse for Miami here in the 7th. There's the strike. Not really, though. The look on Fox Tracks. For a guy that had missed on 7 straight pitches, that's a gift.
As a hitter, that's tough to take.
Breaking ball hit hard, and it hits McGee. Casey McGee couldn't get out of the way. That'll go as a base hit. And McGee is out. And here's a look. That right leg just caught him. And so another odd turn for Miami. On a ball that was headed for right field. Bour gets a hit, but McGee is out, and the Phillies are going to take Adam Morgan out of the ball game. The 25-year-old lefty in line for the win. A West Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. after getting hit by that hot smash off the bat of Justin Bour. Sean Cunningham trying to compress it, make sure that he can make it through the rest of the ball game. Big day tomorrow, Major League Baseball, and on Fox and Fox Sports 1. 4 o'clock, we got Dodgers and Nationals, and at 7 o'clock, Battle of Ohio, the Indians and the Reds. It streams live on Fox Sports Go. JT Realmuto now against Luis Garcia. First out of the pen for the Phillies, and a breaking ball in the dirt. For the Phillies, one of the strengths that they have is their bullpen. You got the back end of that bullpen with Jonathan Papelbon and Ken Giles is usually the guy they see in the 8th inning. Realmuto, a chopper out toward short. Galvis shovels to get it out, and that's it. And now with 2 outs, it's Michael Morse. The inning opened with a McGee walk. Bour hit a smash to first, and it clipped McGee. Now there are 2 outs.
Phillies bullpen's been great. The tough part has been their starting pitching. But as we look at a nice slide right there by Bour going right through the shortstop, you know, that just goes to show you can be a good base runner without being a fast base runner. It's all about you learning to pay attention to the details and willing to go in there hard like that. Good slide by Justin Bour.
And it helps to be a big base runner in that spot. Morse takes a breaking ball for a strike. Morse is struck out and singled to left. There's rain in Washington, D.C. The Dodgers a 2-1 lead over the Nationals. That's delayed in the bottom of the 4th inning. Morse again takes a strike. No rain in New York. Seattle 3-2 over the Yankees. Bottom 5. Mets tonight in St. Louis and up 1-0 in the 2nd. Elsewhere in the division, the Braves at home against the Cubs 2-2. Bottom 3. And here you've got Marlins and Phillies. Phillies up 2-1. Ball in the dirt.
That is 4 straight breaking balls to Morse. You got to wonder if at some point Garcia's going to give it and throw that fastball. So far he hasn't.
See if he makes it 5 in a row. There's the fastball at 97. And if it missed, it just missed. And it just missed. Full count, 2 outs. Realmuto a head start at first. And Morse swings and fouls it at the plate. Came in with the fastball.
That ball is really working back towards the inner part of the plate. Right here, Michael Morse he's looking for that mistake out over the plate. This guy throws really hard, and for the sinker to run in like that, you got to have really good hands to get it. Michael Morse needs something out over the plate that he can extend those arms on and drive it.
There's the breaking ball. He extends it into center field. Realmuto on his way to third. He went back to the off speed, and Morse extended and keeps the inning alive. And here comes Cole Gillespie.
As a hitter, you like this, but as a pitching coach, this drives you absolutely crazy because you've seen that this guy can't handle your fastball, and you throw him a breaking ball and give him a chance to extend this at bat, move that runner from first to third. You throw 97 miles an hour. That's when you want him to come in and bury it. But for the Marlins' sake, he didn't, and Michael Morse threw himself another base hit out there.
Here is Gillespie. A couple things now with Gillespie up. Jose Fernandez is due up next, but Derek Dietrich is on deck, and that means the Marlins got to get a reliever ready in a hurry if Dietrich does indeed come up. Gillespie lines that one foul. There is Dietrich. Brian Morris is up, and that broken bat will buy him a little more time. You certainly don't want to lift Jose from the ballgame, but if you're in a position to pick up a run, say Gillespie gets a hit and ties it up, and Morris is in scoring position, you'd probably take that shot. Jose doesn't want to come out, but he'd love to get a couple runs here. Jose sitting at just 70 pitches. Liner to left, Ashy back, over his head, off the wall, scoring is Real Muto. And Morse slides into third. And Cole Gillespie comes through.
Another breaking ball from a guy that throws 97 miles an hour. The first pitch, Cole Gillespie breaks his bat, lining into the first base dugout, and Garcia hangs a slider and gives up the tying run. That's all I can say. I'm happy for the Marlins, but when you're a guy that throws 97, you can't keep getting beat by your breaking ball.
Now here is Dietrich. Well, he got beat, as you pointed out, by Michael Morse after Morse was tied up by the fastball. Gillespie, another big hit for Gillespie. He has 13 hits as a Marlin. 7 of those have been for extra bases. Now Dietrich. Sharp ground ball. Galvis has it. Fires to first just in time. Inning is over, but Miami ties it. Cole Gillespie makes it 2-2. AT PHI double to tie this ball game. 7th inning stretch here in Philly. Midsummer Classics coming to Miami in 2017. You can get ticketing updates, breaking news, all information related to the Major League Baseball All-Star Game and All-Star Week events in Miami at Marlins Park, July of 2017. Go to marlins.com/ASG. The Marlins shuffle their outfield, make a double switch here. Christian Yelich goes from center to left. Cole Gillespie goes from right to center. Ichiro comes in the ball game, and Ichiro is out in right field. And Brian Morris takes over in a very important inning. 2-2 game, bottom 7. Little by little, after coming off the disabled list, Morris is regaining the form that saw him as an integral part of Miami's bullpen last year.
Oh, last year I saw him pitch with such command with that good sinking fastball. Used a slider when he had to, but he just really ate batters up with movement and velocity on his fastball.
He's got Freddie Galvis, Dominic Brown, and then Cameron Rupp. Pitcher spot is due up 4th. For a game that was 1-0, this has taken some weird turns here in the last inning. From the Phillies getting 2 against Jose Fernandez. Giles getting ready for the 8th. To right, Ichiro there for the catch and the outs. Fish Family, the exclusive loyalty program of Marlin fans, all season ticket holders, are automatically enrolled. You get points and rewards, and you can use them at marlins.com/fishfamily. Tonight's code is Philly. Not IE, but with the Y. Here's Dominic Brown. Bouncer to first. Bohr has it. Now, some at home may be asking, why would you take Jose out of the ball game? He's pitching so well. Derek Dietrich got that pinch hitting spot. We really didn't have a chance to discuss it during the at-bat. Dietrich hit a shot up the middle. Galvis to his left made the play. Preston, what did you think?
Well, I think if you're the Marlins and you're in that situation where you have a chance to add on more runs, you take that offensive opportunity and get that pinch hitter in there. You got a left-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher who's just given up hits to consecutive batters. You take your chances to try to get your team to get the lead with that pinch hit appearance.
Here's Cameron Rupp. You have a rested bullpen. Everybody in baseball has a rested bullpen tonight. To right, in the gap, Ichiro runs another one down and makes the catch. And Brian Morris, a nice 7 pitch, 7th inning. Game summary brought to you by Rand Eye Vision Care. And it was the Marlins that got on the board first, that Justin Bohr single. Phillies getting to Jose Fernandez. The big hit in that one, of course, was the Aaron Morgan double to open the inning. Ryan Howard with an RBI single. Cole Gillespie ties it at 2. 2-out double off the wall in left. And that's where the Marlins and the Phillies stand. The starters in this game, Jose Fernandez and Adam Morgan, are long since gone. The Phillies are into their second reliever. Hey, it's Italian Heritage Night. Did you know that? I know they had chicken parmesan in the dining area tonight, but Italian Heritage Night tonight. I'm sure the fanatic has either a birthday or his mom's anniversary or some celebration this weekend. That's a tradition when the Marlins are here.
Looking forward to it.
Or maybe it was Italian Heritage Night in honor of our pregame hosts, Craig Minervini and Carl Pavano. (1-0). Echeverria pulls a bouncer to third. Franco crossed the diamond in time. South Florida Honda dealers will celebrate Italian Heritage Night tomorrow night with Craig and Carl and the Fish Farm Report. Tom Kohler, Chad Billingsley make the start. 7 o'clock ball game, 6:30 Marlins Live. Frank Fort also included in that festive night. He'll be producing.
Last time I had dinner with Craig, I think we had Italian.
Of course you did. Did he pay for it? Prado on to second. Hernandez to first. I know, it's a cheap shot.
No, but he was talking about having his sausage for a while with sausage and peppers, and he finally got it, and he was so happy.
As noted, this is the part of the Phillies pitching staff that's really good in Giles and Papelbon. Prado bounces out. Here's Yelich. Giles has been a closer in waiting, seems like, for the last 2 years. He's one of those guys, when you look at that Carter Cap stat of strikeouts per 9 innings, Giles' name is usually on that list too. Most strikeouts in relief, Giles at 49. Strikeouts per 9 innings is the one that really jumps off the page. 14.5 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Well, you got these big guys who pitch on that downhill plane and with incredible velocity in the upper 90s.
Yelich bangs one in the gap, left center field, and that's going to the wall. Around first, Yelich on his way to second. Christian Yelich with his 10th double of the season. And he pulls in with a 2-out hit. Here comes Casey McGee.
Well, this is a Christian Yelich we know and love. Takes that ball away and just nice, easy swing, great balance. Drives that ball through the left center gap, and there is no chance for the left fielder to make that play. Cody Ashley just going to go pick it up at the wall. That's all that's left. That's how hard that ball was hit.
Now McGee, who would love to come through in this spot. He's walked 3 times. Hit in the leg by that board blast up that first baseline. It went as a hit, but McGee was out. He was headed for right field. Pitch is out.
Last year, in this spot, so many times Casey McGee came up big for the Marlins. Close and late.
Outside corner and right on it at 98. That's one of the things the Phillies love about Cameron Rupp. Big man behind the plate. Smothers the ball. Look at how small the chest protector looks on him. I mean, seriously, it looks like a dinner bib. Right?
Yeah, that thing comes down below most guys' navels. Not even close for him.
That's what they strap on you when you go to Tony Luke's. McGee fouls that fastball back.
It's like a lobster bib on it.
Yeah. You go with the combo, you go with or without. With or without.
With. Gotta get it with it.
Yelich, the runner at second. A 2-out double in a 2-2 game in Philly. Whew. Here's 98 right on your knuckles.
Yeah. That'll straighten you up a little bit.
Career 2 outs, runners in scoring positions, over 300.
He has a great understanding of at bats with men in scoring position and how guys are going to pitch it.
Got him. McGee got a piece. Rupp held on. Yelich left at second. Still 2-2.
Inning. Now, unfortunately for D. Gordon, that dislocated thumb not only landed him on the disabled list, but it also kept him out of this past week's All-Star game. But fortunately for D, he still decided to make the trip to Cincinnati and enjoy some other All-Star festivities, including the T-Mobile Fan Fest. He had a chance to send out this tweet where he was hanging out with some young fans, had a chance to play T-ball. So good for D. He looked like he really enjoyed that, even though he wasn't able to play in the game. And an unfortunate injury, but D. Gordon deserved to be an All-Star. He deserved to enjoy those festivities, guys.
He did, you're right. And the Marlins are hopeful that D. Gordon's thumb heals quickly. Odubel Herrera fouls it back. When Dan Jennings met the media and talked about that injury, he was asked, well, is there swelling? What's the medical prognosis? He said right now it's just a matter of strength for Gordon. Just a matter of being able to put the bat in his hand and start swinging. Of course, the DL move retroactive to the date of the injury on July 12th. Herrera, liner to left. And Yelich picks it up. Brian Morris into his second inning in relief. And Herrera opens the 8th with a hit. Jonathan Papelbon is up. I was talking earlier about other games in the division and noted incorrectly that there was rain in D.C. I saw the score and it says delayed. I figured rain. I did not figure on a bank of lights that has blown out at Nationals Park, and that's almost an hour delay for the Dodgers and the Nationals right now. 2-1 Los Angeles in the 4th. And now here's Revere, and it was his bunt, just trying to move a runner from second to third, that compounded that whole 6th inning. Casey McGee, rather than get the bunt, retreated to third. The Phillies had runners at the corners and nobody out. They would go on to score 2 runs. Revere bunts. Morris has it, plants and throws, and just gets Ben Revere.
That's a great job by Morris right there, going in hard to get that bunt, getting it at its highest point, setting his feet, and keeping that throw inside the baseline to help protect Martin Prado. Because when you got a guy who gets down the line like Ben Revere, when that ball veers into the base path, it can cause an injury by that guy reaching for that ball. So great job by Morris keeping that ball in the fair territory so Prado doesn't have to reach into the runner and risk an injury by making that play. Marlins got more action there. Their bullpen, both Dunn and Carter Capps are up now.
Switch hitting second baseman Cesar Hernandez. Herrera the runner at second. One-0. Appeal and no swing, says John Hirschbeck. Alan Porter, the home plate umpire. Bill Welke, John Tumpane, John Hirschbeck. Hernandez an 0 for 3 night. He hit the bouncer to first that Bohr had trouble with for an error. That loaded the bases and built that snowball that was starting to build and roll downhill in the 6th inning. Phillies would then get their 2 runs on a double play ball by Franco and the RBI single by Howard. All the way to this screen, not moving at second base, is Herrera, and the fans are surprised he didn't move. And I think the Phillies themselves are surprised.
Well, I'll tell you why. On the ball that goes right over the catcher's head in Philadelphia, you have to be careful because there's brick right behind there. And the Marlins got fortunate that it hit off the padding, so it stayed close and he didn't go. But a lot of times that ball can hit off the brick right behind home plate, come right back to the catcher, and it's an easy catch and throw on that throw to third base.
And as you noted, you could hear it hit the padding. Dan Jennings is on his way out, and he's going to go to the bullpen. He wants the right-hander. And so Carter Capps comes in the game. 2-2, 1 out, bottom 8. Wes Kendall Toyota called to the pen. Runners first and second, 2-2 game. Chevron brings you tomorrow's starters. Tom Kohler, Chad Billingsley. The game starts at 7:10. Marlins Live starts our telecast at 6:30 right here on Fox Sports Florida. Rich Waltz, Preston Wilson sitting in. Tommy Hutton will return Monday in the desert in Arizona. Marlins head to Arizona for 3-4 in San Diego. Here's Carter Capps.
The only thing that's missing from Carter Capps' repertoire is having a K that starts his first name and a K that starts his last name, because he is all about the strikeout. And there's not a more feared guy right now coming out of the bullpen than Carter Capps.
An outstanding first half with an ERA of 1.42. Sixth lowest by a Marlins reliever in club history prior to the break. Since he came back from the minor leagues, 47 strikeouts. And in that span, he leads all major league relievers. Kel Franco, who has singled and bounced to short twice. Here's a 1-0. Fastball line to center. Gillespie off his glove. By him to the track. Herrera scores. And the Phillies have the lead. Cole Gillespie, whose double tied the game at 2, got there but could not finish.
That's just a miss by Gillespie. Overran it a little bit and just did not make the play. I think a little bit deeper route on the initial run probably would have helped, but he just misplayed that ball. It hit off the backside of his glove. He actually overran it a little bit. And the Marlins are fortunate to have not gotten 2 runs scored on him on that play.
Well, Herrera scores. You can see Gillespie not happy with himself. There's no RBI. A run scores, and the Marlins are headed right back into the bullpen. Mike Dunn coming in. Wes Kendall, Toyota, called to the pen. Christian Yelich and from Ichiro. A bit of a discussion, a lot of pats on the back to try to shake this one off. Here's another look.
Well, you see him start to veer back a little bit, and then he overran the ball. It looked like he got his glove up late.
I think the bad route kind of had doubts in his mind whether he's going to catch up to the ball, but he actually ran past the ball, and the ball hits off the back of the glove, and he just did not secure it. And that's a lonely feeling out there for a center fielder, because you're out there by yourself, and once you make that error, there's nobody out there to pick it up behind you. You got to go pick up your own mistake, as opposed to if an infielder misses a ground ball. And he's gone from being potential hero, potential one of the heroes of the game, to possible GOAT right now.
Well, Mike Dunn now trying to stop it here. Ryan Howard's up. These two have actually faced each other an awful lot. Howard, who has an RBI single in 3 trips. Infield is in. Franco's at second. Hernandez at third. And Dunn with a breaking ball for a strike. 21 career at bats, 11 strikeouts, 5 hits. Not great against lefties. And neither was Utley. Utley on the disabled list right now, with no real set timetable as to when he's back.
I think the Marlins are trying to definitely get a strikeout here. Howard is hitting 136 against left-handed pitching this year.
Mike Dunn, high fastball. And there is strikeout number 12. Well, Dunn gets this out. Jeff Francoeur has emerged, and he's getting loose. Then you've got Galvis, who's a switch hitter. The Marlins have already gone through Brian Morris. Carter Capps faced just one hitter. Jeff Francoeur, former Brave, former Padre, former Met, current Philly. A guy who was forced to pitch in a blowout game, probably welcomed the opportunity. There's the 0-1. But it caused a lot of consternation when Francoeur couldn't get out of the inning quickly, was left out there. His pitch count getting up was tiring. And Chase Utley, very vocal when Bob McClure went out to see if Francoeur could finish the inning. Here's a 1-1 pitch. And a strike to Francoeur, who likes to swing early, but amazingly sits at 1 and 2 here. There is McClure. Of course, Pete McCannon now managing this team after the resignation of Ryan Sandberg. Dunn misses up and out. As a pinch hitter, Francoeur's been outstanding this year. 7 for 15. Two balls, 2 strikes. Francoeur drives it left field and deep and gone. One-handed Warren Henry, drive of the game. And just like that, the Phillies crack it open. It is 6-2. The Marlins maneuvered Mike Dunn to face Ryan Howard. What they didn't count on was Jeff Francoeur blasting a homer to left off of Dunn. But that's the matchup the Phillies got after Dunn struck out Howard. Now Galvis punches a single to right. Remember, the inning started with Brian Morris. Carter Capps came in. Mikhail Franco hit the fly ball that Gillespie dropped. And that was it for Capps. He came out. Dunn came in, and it looked like specifically for Howard. But after he got Howard out, Francoeur remained. And he hurts Dunn. He hurts the Marlins. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Realmuto's throw on a hop, out at second base. Might be reviewed. Certainly will be looked at by the Phillies. Marlins will linger. Galvis is running. Let's see if they got him. You can't tell from that look. It looks like he's, that's close too. Pete Buchanan wants a review. So the Phillies will challenge. If it is upheld, it's the third out of the inning. This might be the best look. Do you see enough? Oh, this is the slow motion right on the bag. Ooh. I think he gets him. I think the glove is right on the toe. But the umpires in New York will have the last word on that. In what has been a disastrous inning for the Fish here.
Justin Bohr and Echeverria look pretty confident. They've gone to the dugout and decided to hang out over there.
That's because they got there before the challenge. Watch the glove on the toe. He's out. So good work by the second base umpire, John Tumpain. Nice work by Echeverria, who picked the throw from Realmuto. But the Phillies make it 6-2. Kubota. For more information or find a participating dealer, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. And by Florida Coast Equipment, Florida's largest Kubota dealer. Visit us at FloridaCoastEQ.com. Jonathan Papelbon arrived between innings to a chorus of boos here in Philly. He's made no secret he wants out. He expects to be traded. What is not in dispute for Papelbon is that he's an outstanding closer who's 14 of 14 this year and an ERA about $1.50. Ben Revere is in left field. Odubel Herrera is in center. And so the Marlins trying to climb out of a 4-run hole now with Bohr up, and he takes a strike. A 3-run homer by Jeff Francoeur. Oh, 2. Bohr, Real Muto, Ichiro here in the 9th. It's fouled back. Now this is not a save situation for Papelbon. It is, however, a possibility to finish the game. And remember, the outset of the telecast, we were talking about trade chips for the Phillies, and for Papelbon, that's significant. Finishing a game. If he finishes this game, he'll need to finish just 18 more before a $13 million option kicks in next year. That might be one of the reasons the Phillies are having trouble moving him. Bohr pops it foul and out of play. For the Marlins tonight, they had a 1-0 lead. Jose Fernandez was dealing. You see the scouts, many of them here to see a variety of players, not just Phillies, but also Marlins. Papelbon with a 1-2 count on Bohr. Elevates the fastball.
That's the best fastball that we've seen Papelbon throw at 92 miles an hour. The rest of them have been right around 90. Reached back a little bit and got a little more on that one at 92 miles an hour.
Change up and a good take by Bohr. Jose Fernandez looked sharp. In fact, he looked unhittable at times. Retired 12 in a row at one point. But the double by Adam Morgan to lead off the 6th opened the door. Phillies didn't bust the door down. The Marlins actually opened it for them a little wider by misplaying a bunt from Revere, kicking a ground ball from Hernandez. And the Phillies, when the dust would settle, had 2 runs. Miami's lead was gone. The 2-2. And then the ensuing inning, Cole Gillespie tied it at 2. Jose was gone. He was lifted for a pinch hitter. Derek Dietrich nearly gave the Marlins a couple of runs. He blasted one up the middle that Galvis got to. 10th pitch of the at-bat to Bohr. Chops it up the middle. Big hop and an out. Marlins Live coming up. Checkers will bring you Craig Minervini, Carl Pavano. Jose shines in his first road start, but it's not enough. And costly late mistakes. The misplay in center by Gillespie. The ball that hit McGee, though it's hard to say that's a mistake. I mean, that's a coming off the bat at 100 miles an hour. McGee tried to leap over it. It's not like he ran right into it. But still, that bottom of the 6th inning has to sting with Jose cruising the way he was cruising.
Yeah, there was probably 5 innings of the most dominant baseball you can see pitched. I think only 2 balls had left the infield at that point when the trouble started for Jose Fernandez in the 6th inning.
Oh, and 2 to Real Muto. Real Muto to left, and it is gone. JT Real Muto with a solo shot. Miami climbs a run closer, but still down 3 here in the 9th.
That's just a good swing on the ball, moving in on him. See him keep his hands nice and close there, pulls the barrel through. That ball lifted out of the ballpark. Ben Revere, nice effort, but that's a home run all the way.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia. The guy took off his mask. Here's Ichiro. Fastball's up. Strike 1-1. Ichiro, who went through that long offer, seemed to come out of it at the end of the first half. Hit some balls hard. Had a couple line drive hits. And he smacks that one into left center field. Crowd getting on Papelbon again here. And remember, the Marlins were here last year when Papelbon, in coming off the field, grabbed his crotch. And it was Joe West, the conscience of baseball, who literally grabbed Papelbon, ejected him from the game. Papelbon pleaded that he was just adjusting his cup. That one in on the hands of Gillespie, and it flies out to Hernandez. Second out. And here comes Donovan Solano. So Solano trying to keep this inning going, keep the line moving. Echeverria, Prado, Yelich are lined up behind him. But as we've noted, Papelbon's had a really nice year. Ichiro will take second, no stolen base. Defensive indifference, which some might argue the Marlins have shown tonight as well. Been a tough start to the second half here tonight.
Started off quite promisingly, but when the 6th inning rolled around and plays came up to be made, the Marlins just didn't make them, and the Phillies have capitalized from then on.
Solano lifts it in the air to right. Brown is on, and he makes the catch. And this ball game belongs to the Phillies. Papelbon finishes. JT Real Muto hits his 5th homer of the season, but it's not enough. The Marlins tonight, a pair of errors, costly in this one. And on a night where Jose Fernandez was cruising, the Phillies come from behind and beat the Fish. 6-3, the final. Marlins Live, brought to you by Checkers. It's coming up.